Vergu House is found in Buzău and it is the oldest building to survive the passing of time and still be used nowadays. The house was documented in 1794 and it belonged to two families of boyars, Vergu and Mănăilă, united through marriage. In 1948, the house was nationalized and as years went by, it was left neglected. During 1971 and 1974, the Vergu House was new built over the old foundation. In terms of architectural style, the building combines the old folk style with the Brâncovenesque style, also known as Romanian Renaissance. From 1976 until nowadays, the mansion became a section of the County Museum, hosting the collection of ethnography and folk art.
The memorial exhibition is situated in the village Pârskov, where he was born on 14 October 1884. The poet, playwright, journalist and editor Vasile Voiculescu, a remarkable personality of the Romanian literature. It offers the visitors the possibility to create themselves a suggestive view of the writer's evolution, his rich and diverse literary, journalistic and editorial work. Reconstructed between 1986 and 1988, following the model of the old house, the new building became a memorial house in 1996.
Castle Păleș, near Sinaia, was built between 1875 and 1883 at the behest of Carol I of Hohenzollern, the first king of Romania. The castle was built in wood, stone, bricks, and marble and comprises more than 170 rooms. The representative style used is German Renaissance, but one can easily discover elements belonging to the Italian Renaissance, Gothic, German Baroque, and French Rococo style. It is also important to note that Păleș Castle shelters one of the most valuable painting collections in Europe, almost 2,000 pieces.
The monastery of Voronezh is one of the greatest monasteries built by Stephen the Great of Moldavia. It is well known for the blue color used for the outside fresco, Blue of Voronezh. The church was built in 1488. It is small and has the shape of a clover with a Moldavian nave vaulted dome. The monastery is also called the Sistine Chapel of the East and it was added on the World Heritage List of UNESCO in 1993.
Over 500 years old, Biserica Neagră, the Black Church, is the most representative historic monument in Brașov, the greatest Gothic church in Transylvania, and in some historians' point of view, the greatest religious edifice from Vienna to Istanbul. More than that, inside the church there is one of the greatest organs in Europe and also the largest collection of all carpets from Asia Minor. The construction of this Gothic evangelic church began around 1380 in the time of Vicar Thomas Sander, and at the beginning it was named St. Mary's Church. In 1421, an important part of the construction was destroyed during the Turkish invasion, and that is why the church was completely built in 1477. Then, after almost 200 years, a fire partially destroyed it in 1689, and the smoke blackened the walls, and for a long period of time the facade couldn't be renovated. The reconstruction lasted about 100 years, but the place of worship was called Biserica Neagră because of its black smoke walls. The present roof, which has 20 meters in height, was also built after this fire. The workers who restored it were from Danzig, and this is the reason why the new valets are in Baroque style and not in Gothic. Nowadays, it is considered the greatest place of worship in Romania, with impressive dimension and the heart of Brașov.
Right in the historical and geographical center of Bucharest stands an impressive building that strikes the eye by its particular style. It is the Palace of the Romanian Parliament, a giant built during the golden age of the dictatorial regime and born in the mind of a man for whom the nation of reasonable size did not exist. At the border of reason and neoclassicism, the building reflects best what Romania underwent in the Communist period. Built in a time where the people of Romania have been destitute, it has been regarded with reticence. Many workers have lost their lives on the site on their attempt to contribute to the construction of this architectural colossus, the world's second largest administrative building after the Pentagon. The idea of erecting such a monumental building was older, but it became reality in 1984 when on June 25th the cornerstone was set and the construction began. Teams of architects and engineers contributed to the erection of this great project entitled the House of the Republic, at first the House of the People, and eventually the Palace of the Parliament. Its eclectic style combines traditional elements of the Romanian architecture dominated by the Brâncoveanu style, some popular art decoration, the rosette, the sun, decoration motifs specific to wood etching, and influences of the Renaissance, Germanic, and Baroque styles. This architecture assembly brings together impressive quantities of marble, steel, concrete, and wood, but also a large volume of labor. Materials employed are of Romanian origin, and we can say that the entire country contributed somewhat to the building or decoration of the rooms.
The famous Albatros Villa in Buzău, northeast of Bucharest, built after the design of a French architect and the favorite place where Romania's capital city's aristocracy and the royal family used to meet late in the 19th century, will be rehabilitated on EU funds. It was Iancu Marghiloman who had the mansion built over 1883-1887. After his death in 1892, his son Alexandru got the mansion refurbished and upgraded after the designs by the French architect Paul Gautreux, the same who had designed famous Bucharest-based buildings such as the Romanian Savings Bank Czech and the Carol I University Foundation. Gautreux started the Albatros Villas project in 1893 and it was inaugurated in 1897. At the Albatros Villa, surrounded by a 22.5 acres park with ponds and annexes, the Marghiloman coffee was cooked on sand by a special recipe. Alexandru Marghiloman is considered the father of the horse racing in Romania. His thoroughbreds, Albatros, the best of them, won 27 derbies, which is the reason why the villa got its name.
The only landmark of Byzantine culture in Romania, the last flagship of Cantacuzino, was saved from destruction by the Union of Architects of Romania. Blazon's House of Chiojdu, Buzău, is an architectural treasure that was about to collapse but was built. It will be restored with European money and it will be converted into cultural sites. Built in 1760 by the freeholder Izbășoi, the house with blazons from Chiojdu village is a national architectural masterpiece and a landmark of European culture. It was restored again and sold 5 times over the years, but has not lost its value. The last owner that endeavored to bring it back to its true value, but because it failed, he sold it to connoisseurs. What makes it so special is one of the 3 emblems that hangs on the wall from the main entrance. It represents the 2-headed eagle, a symbol of the Basileus, the last flagship of Cantacuzino in Romania. The house, dating from the late 18th century, rebuilt in the early part of the 19th century, is known as the House with Blazons. A beautiful home, a masterpiece of our national architecture, and a great value in the European horizon. Its importance derives from several sources of value. Firstly, it is an ancient house from our village environment. Secondly, from the architectural point of view, it is a masterpiece of balance and plasticity.
A balanced volume, a volumetric dynamic shaped and modulated with the whole mastery. The molding decorations on the ceiling and on the outside walls, along with the 5 circular decorative elements, the blazons, are considered luxuriant for that period of time. In the center of this string of blazons reigns and will reign the 2-headed eagle, which is the emblem of the Byzantine basilica and which arrived to Chiojdu after a long journey. The wooden moldings that are found both on the outside walls as well as on the inside walls are unique in Europe and have deep meanings. The pavilion of this house is sustained by pillars with decorations shaped from wood that represent motifs derived from a repertoire of ornaments impregnated with the sacred. At the level of the pillars there are two round shapes that symbolize the horns of a ram that represent a sacred animal guarding the inside of the house and the inhabitants of the interior. Another important monument is the House of Lădești, because it is represented on the banknote of 10 lei and also because it is architectonically unique in our country, being the only boyar mansion built with turret design.